Welcome back to BNB Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the issue that's brewing between Deacon Sharp and Sheila Carter, as their marriage faces a serious threat over Luna's presence in their lives. Deacon's dark side, though dormant as he attempts to live a reformed life, still lurks beneath the surface. The man who once walked on the wrong side of the law has found himself in a precarious position. Rumors have begun circulating that Deacon might take drastic action against Luna as an act of vengeance for the deaths of his friends, Tom and Hollis. These whispers suggest that his patience has reached its breaking point, and the possibility of him resorting to violence cannot be dismissed entirely. The pain of losing two close companions has left a wound that continues to fester, particularly as he's forced to confront their killer on a regular basis. The complexity of Deacon's character has always been one of his most compelling attributes. While he's made significant strides in reforming his life, running Il Giardino and attempting to build legitimate relationships, the criminal instincts and survival mechanisms that defined his earlier years haven't completely disappeared. They've merely been suppressed, buried beneath his efforts to become a better man. However, Luna's actions have begun to chip away at this carefully constructed facade, revealing glimpses of the man he used to be and perhaps still is at his core. What makes this situation particularly volatile is Deacon's understanding of Sheila's past transgressions. He's been able to forgive her numerous misdeeds because he recognizes something of himself in her, a damaged soul seeking redemption. This connection has formed the foundation of their unlikely but passionate relationship. However, this same understanding doesn't extend to Luna. In Deacon's eyes, Luna represents a different kind of threat, one that's unpredictable and potentially more dangerous than anything he's willing to tolerate in his life. The tension between Deacon and Luna has reached a boiling point following her eviction from the Spencer mansion. Bill Spencer's decision to remove Luna from his home has created a ripple effect that now threatens to tear apart Deacon and Sheila's marriage. With nowhere else to go, Luna has turned to her grandmother, Sheila, for support and shelter. This development has placed Sheila in an impossible position, caught between her loyalty to her granddaughter and her commitment to her husband. Sheila Carter, known for her manipulative and often unpredictable behavior, finds herself in a rare position of vulnerability. Her relationship with Deacon has provided her with a sense of stability and acceptance that she's rarely experienced. However, her newfound connection with Luna represents a link to family that she's long desired. The conflict between these two attachments has created an internal struggle for Sheila, forcing her to make difficult choices about where her true priorities lie. For Deacon, the situation has become intolerable. His ultimatum to Sheila isn't merely about keeping Luna out of their home, it's about protecting the life they've built together. He genuinely believes that Luna poses a significant danger not only to them but to anyone who crosses her path. The murders of Tom and Hollis serve as stark evidence of what she's capable of, and Deacon refuses to wait around for another tragedy to occur. His stance is firm: either Luna goes, or he does. The Bold and the Beautiful has always excelled at portraying complex relationships, but the triangle between Deacon, Sheila, and Luna represents a particularly intricate web of loyalties, fears, and resentments. Deacon's threat of divorce isn't made lightly. It's a last resort from a man who feels he's run out of options. The prospect of ending his marriage to Sheila clearly pains him, but his instinct for self-preservation remains strong. What makes this storyline especially compelling is the unpredictability of Sheila's response. Throughout her tumultuous history on the show, Sheila has demonstrated time and again that her actions rarely follow conventional logic. Her attachment to Luna, combined with her deep feelings for Deacon, has created a perfect storm of emotional conflict. The question now becomes, will she choose her granddaughter or her husband? And what consequences will that choice bring? As viewers, we're left wondering what the future holds for this troubled couple. Deacon's ultimatum has set in motion a series of events that could permanently alter the landscape of relationships in Los Angeles. The drama that Deacon so desperately wants to escape seems determined to follow him, testing the limits of his patience and his commitment to his new life. The bold and the beautiful spoilers suggest that this time around, Deacon Sharp is certainly not messing around. His threat of divorce isn't an empty one, it's a declaration that he's reached his breaking point. After everything he's endured and overcome, the prospect of sharing his life with someone he considers genuinely dangerous is simply too much to bear. For a man who has spent years trying to distance himself from chaos and criminality, Luna represents everything he's trying to leave behind. In the coming weeks, viewers can expect to see this conflict intensify as Sheila is forced to make her choice. Will she recognize the validity of Deacon's concerns, or will her loyalty to Luna override her marriage vows? The decision she makes could have far-reaching implications not just for their relationship, but for everyone in their orbit. One thing is certain, in the world of the bold and the beautiful, peace rarely lasts for long, and the drama is just beginning to unfold. Next, we will learn about the issue surrounding Carter's momentous decision regarding Forrester Creations and how it's about to shake the foundations of several relationships in Los Angeles. It appears that hope in Carter's romance is standing on its last legs, precariously balanced on the edge of corporate intrigue and personal betrayal. Industry insiders have begun speculating that once Hope discovers Carter no longer controls the prestigious fashion house, she'll waste no time in severing their connection. As one source close to the production team confided, Hope's attachment to Carter has always been questionable, with many viewers wondering if her affections were genuine or merely strategic. The metaphorical hot potato that is Carter Walton will likely be dropped unceremoniously from Hope's hands the moment she realizes her position at the company might be compromised. This calculated approach to relationships isn't entirely surprising given Hope's recent character development. The once innocent and idealistic daughter of Brooke Logan has evolved into a more pragmatic and sometimes ruthless businesswoman, willing to make personal sacrifices for professional gain. Her transformation has been gradual but unmistakable, leaving longtime viewers to wonder what remains of the compassionate young woman who once championed forgiveness and understanding above all else. The ruthless fashion world of Los Angeles has clearly left its mark on her psyche, teaching her that sentiment has no place in the boardroom, or perhaps even in the bedroom. The friendship between Daphne and Steffy has blossomed into a fascinating alliance, bound together by their shared experiences and, perhaps more significantly, their common adversaries. During their recent heart-to-heart, Daphne couldn't contain her excitement about her romantic encounter with Carter. Her eyes sparkled with the unmistakable glow of new love as she described their kiss in vivid detail, her words tumbling out in a rush of emotion that betrayed just how deeply she's fallen for the charismatic executive. The so-called love bug has indeed bitten her hard, infusing her typically level-headed demeanor with a dreamy quality that Steffy couldn't help but notice. Despite her own complicated history with Carter, Steffy offered her blessing with surprising enthusiasm. Her response wasn't merely about supporting her friend's happiness, it carried the satisfying undercurrent of revenge against the Logan family, particularly Hope, whom Steffy has viewed as a persistent thorn in her side for years. "I'm genuinely happy for you," Steffy told Daphne with a warm smile that didn't quite mask the calculating gleam in her eyes. Carter deserves someone who appreciates him for who he truly is, not for what he can provide. The subtext was clear. Unlike Hope, Daphne's feelings for Carter weren't contingent on his corporate position or influence. Steffy's assessment of Carter as a good man who got swept away by a Logan reveals her lingering affection for him, despite the pain his business decisions caused her family. In her view, Carter fell victim to the infamous Logan charm, a trap that has ensnared numerous Forrester men over the decades, including her own father. This perspective allows her to separate Carter's actions from his character, preserving their friendship while simultaneously positioning Hope as the true villain in the narrative. It's a masterful psychological maneuver that enables Steffy to maintain her moral high ground while encouraging a relationship that will ultimately wound her longtime rival. The dramatic confrontation in Carter's office marked a turning point in the ongoing saga of Forrester Creations' ownership. When Ridge and Eric appeared unannounced, the tension in the room was palpable, thick enough to cut with the proverbial scissors that have crafted countless couture designs over the years. The elder Forrester men approached with dignity rather than hostility, their request for the return of their family legacy delivered not as a demand but as an appeal to Carter's better nature. "We've built this company with our hands, our hearts, and our vision," Eric reminded him, his voice carrying the weight of decades of fashion innovation and family tradition. What followed was a scene of unexpected emotional depth, as the three men acknowledged the brotherhood they had formed over years of working side by side. Carter's admission that he missed his brothers revealed the true cost of his ambitious power play, the severing of bonds that transcended mere business relationships. In that moment of vulnerability, the usually composed and strategic Carter allowed his genuine feelings to surface, demonstrating that beneath his recent ruthless business maneuvers beat the heart of a man who valued connection over conquest. The physical act of ripping up the LLC papers carried powerful symbolic significance. Each tear represented the dismantling of barriers that had divided the once tight-knit Forrester inner circle. As the fragments fell to the desk, so too did the walls Carter had erected around himself during his brief reign as the company's head. His decision to return Forrester Creations to its rightful owners wasn't merely a business transaction, it was an act of redemption, a step toward healing relationships that had seemed irreparably damaged. The question that now hangs in the balance is whether this gesture will be enough to restore the trust that was broken when Carter first seized control of the fashion house. The intimate conversation between Brooke and Hope offered a poignant glimpse into the parallel romantic disappointments facing the Logan women. Brooke's lingering heartache over Ridge's reunion with Taylor manifested in her wistful recounting of unanswered messages and missed opportunities. "He left me on read," she confessed to her daughter, the modern phraseology somehow making her vulnerability even more touching. The once confident Destiny's Child of Ridge Forrester now found herself relegated to the role of ignored ex, watching from the sidelines as her longtime rival reclaimed the man she considered her soulmate. Hope's own romantic turmoil mirrored her mother's in many ways, though with a distinctly calculating undertone that Brooke's passion-driven relationships have typically lacked. Her discovery of Carter and Daphne's kiss had shaken her, not primarily because of heartbreak but because it threatened to destabilize her carefully constructed plan. "I can forgive him," she told Brooke with a determination that suggested strategy rather than genuine absolution. Her candid admission that this forgiveness was motivated by her desire to maintain her corporate position revealed the true nature of her relationship with Carter, a business arrangement disguised as romance, a means to an end rather than an end in itself. The dramatic events surrounding Forrester Creations have captivated audiences, with the power struggle finally reaching its unexpected conclusion. Carter's decision to relinquish control has sent shockwaves through the fashion world of Los Angeles, prompting varied reactions from those who have been closely monitoring his tenure at the helm of the iconic company. Industry insiders, fashion journalists, and loyal customers have all weighed in on Carter's brief but impactful leadership, creating a tapestry of opinions that reflects the complex legacy he leaves behind. Some have praised his innovative approach to modernizing the brand, while others criticized what they perceived as a betrayal of the Forrester aesthetic and values. "Carter brought fresh energy to a company that was at risk of becoming stagnant," commented one fashion blogger who has followed the drama closely. "But in doing so, he nearly sacrificed the soul of what makes Forrester Creations special." This sentiment echoes throughout the fashion community, highlighting the delicate balance between innovation and tradition that defines successful luxury brands. As this captivating storyline approaches its conclusion, viewers are advised to stay tuned for the explosive fallout that will inevitably follow. Hope's reaction to Carter's decision promises to be particularly dramatic, especially given her calculated approach to their relationship. The juicy developments still to come will likely reshape alliances, test loyalties, and perhaps even create new power dynamics within the fashion house. The question on everyone's lips now is whether Carter's act of returning the company will be enough to redeem him in the eyes of those he hurt, or if some bridges remain permanently burned in the wake of his ambition. The Bold and the Beautiful has once again demonstrated its mastery of weaving together business intrigue and personal drama, with Carter's journey serving as the centerpiece of this compelling narrative arc. His evolution from trusted confidant to power-hungry usurper and finally to penitent friend has showcased the complex character development that has made this daytime drama a staple of television for decades. As this chapter closes, new storylines are already taking shape on the horizon, promising viewers that the drama, passion, and fashion of this beloved soap opera will continue to enthrall for seasons to come.